we finished the models. Now we have the active and passive voice, right? So today's quote: think big and don't listen to people who tell you it can't be done. Life is too short to think small. So always think big. Yes, today let us see active and passive voice. So what is active and passive voice? See, on the screen you can see voice. It is divided into two, that is active and passive. In active voice, what the subject does is focus. Okay, so the focus is given on the subject. But in the passive voice, you can see the focus is on the action, and the importance is given to the who, the object. Okay, so for example, you can see Ram killed Ravan. This is in the active voice. Then when you are changing it into the passive voice, you can see that Ravan was killed by Ram. So the subject becomes the object and the object becomes the subject in the passive voice. Apart from that, the past participle form of the verb is used, by is used, and the be form of the verb is used according to the tense. Okay. See here. Now, what you have to do while changing the passive voice, the active voice into the passive voice. So here you can see in the active voice, emphasis is, that is the stress is given or importance is given to the doer or the performer. So importance is given to the doer, the person who does the action. And in passive voice, emphasis is on the result or the receiver. Okay, so the importance is given, or the focus is given on the result or the receiver. Here it is doer, here it is receiver. So you can see the example sentence: the dog chased the cat. The dog chased the cat. So here you can see the subject and the object here, and this is the action. Okay, verb phrase. This is the action. So when you change it into the passive voice, what will happen? You the cat, that is the object, comes in the beginning, the cat, and because it is in the passive, was chased by. Who chased the cat? It was chased by the dog. Okay. So here you can see the subject, verb phrase, and the agent, right? Okay. Now, just some changes which will happen in the when you're changing the active voice to passive voice. So I will become by me. We will become by us. You will become by you. He will become by him. She will become by her. It will become by it. They will become by them. Okay. So when this is the subject, it is like this, and when it becomes the object, it is like this. Okay. So here you can see some examples. See, I saw a beautiful dress in that shop. This is in the active voice. So when you are changing it into the passive voice, it becomes as a beautiful dress. So this is the object, a beautiful dress. A beautiful dress. I saw it in the past. So what? Seen. Seen is the past participle form of the verb, that is see. Okay, see, saw, seen. the past participle form. So this is the third form of the verb. It is past, present tense, past tense, and past participle. So that is why here seen is used. Okay, a beautiful dress was seen by whom? By me. So I has become by me. Okay, in that shop. In that shop is the adjunct. You have learned the sentence pattern, isn't it? So according to the sentence pattern, you just have to change only the subject, verb, and the object. You should not change the adjunct or the extra information in that. Okay. So when you're changing the active to passive voice, you have to give importance to the subject, the action, and the object. Okay, that only you have to take. The rest of it should remain the same. So when you have to change active voice into a passive voice, first thing is you have to find the subject, the action, and the object. After that, you can change the object into the subject, then use the be form of the verb, the past participle form of the main verb, and then you have to change the subject into the object using by. Okay, you have to add by. See another example. We cultivated wheat in our field. So this is in here you can see the subject is we, and what it has changed to. It has changed to by us. So the sentence will change to wheat was cultivated by us in our field. Okay, right. Another example, you are reading a book. So when you change it to passive, it becomes a book is being. So this is in the present tense. Okay, simple present continuous tense. Correct. This is in the present continuous tense. So it when it is the ing form of the verb comes, what you have to do? You have to write being. Okay, instead of the ing, you have to write being. Then read by you. That you will become by you. A book is being read by you. Okay. Now you can see how some of the verbs change and what will happen to the verb. Okay. Here I showed you what the being and has been and all, how it will change. So here, when it is a base verb, in the passive voice, it becomes am, is, or are plus the past participle form of the verb. If it is the past tense, that is ed form of the verb, it will become was or were plus the past participle form of the verb. Do or does and not plus the verb. If it is do or does and not plus the verb, what will happen? It will become am or is or are plus the past participle form of the verb. If in the active voice it is did not plus verb, it will change to was or were plus past participle form of the verb. Again, in the active voice, if it is to be plus ing form of the verb. If it is to be and ing form of the verb, in the passive voice, it will become to be plus being plus the past participle form of the verb. So here PP means the past participle form. That is the third form of the verb. Present tense, past tense, and past participle. Again, have or had or present, that is past participle form of the verb. When it is past participle form of the verb in the active voice itself, then what will happen? Have or has plus been. Has been, have been plus the past participle form of the verb in the passive voice. Again, in the active voice, if it is had plus the past participle form, in the passive voice, it will become had plus been plus the past participle form of the verb. Then, if it is a model and a verb, that is last time we learned about the models, isn't it? Can, could, may, might, will, would. Okay, all these are the some of the common shall, should. All these are the some of the common models. So when a model and a main verb is used, then it becomes the model plus the be form of the verb and the past participle form of the verb. Okay. Okay. Then see, these are some examples. It is in the when the tense is changed. The girl has clicked selfie. So it changes to selfie has been clicked by a girl. Girls have clicked selfie. Selfie have been clicked by girls. Girls have clicked selfies. Selfies have been clicked by girls. So even the plural forms, when it is when you're changing, if the subject is also in the plural, the have and has will change according to it. Okay. Now we'll go to the next slide. See, here you can see the tenses. Then what the active verb will be and how the passive verb will change. Okay. See, in the simple present, no, here you have a verb as write. That so in the simple present form, the verb, if the verb is write or write, in the passive form, it will become is, am, or are written. Written is the past participle form of write. Okay. Next, present continuous tense. There is ing form of the verb. Is, am, are ing form of the verb. When this is in the active form, in the passive form, it will become is, are, or am being written. Okay. Then in the present perfect, has or have written, it will become has or have been written. In the simple past, wrote will become was or were written. Was in the singular, were if it is plural. Okay. Wrote will become was or were written. The past continuous, was or were writing will become was or were being written. The past perfect, had written will become had been written. So I'll just tell a sentence with this so that you can be clear. So here in the past perfect tense, had written. That is, I had written a letter to my friend. Okay. So that in the passive voice, it will become that a letter had been written by me to my friend. Okay. Then in the simple future, will or shall write. That will become in the passive as will or shall be written. So they will write the exam. So that will in the passive voice, it will become as the exam will be or shall be written by them. The future continuous, will or shall be writing. So usually this future continuous is not used in the passive form. Okay, will or shall be writing. Because being will not come in the passive form here in the future tense. Okay, in the future tense, the being form will not come. So we cannot change that. Next, in the future perfect, will or shall have written. So by June, they will have the exam will have been written. It will come like that. They will have written the exam by July. Okay. So there, the exam will or shall have been written by them by July. Okay. Now you can see that how you can change different types of sentences to passive voice. So what are the different types of sentence? You have 4 types of sentence. It is declarative or assertive, then interrogative, that is question form. Declarative is statement, then question form, that is interrogative. Then you have imperative, which are requests or commands. Then you have exclamatory sentences. So there are 4 types of sentences, isn't it? So when you are changing these types of sentence, what you have to do? So first we'll take the imperative sentences. Here we have got imperative sentences. These are just examples. That is for request or for advice, then for command, for ordering, that and all you have to write according to that. Okay, here only 2 examples are given. So for request, you have to add you are requested to. Okay, then it is in the passive voice. So for example, please come to my cabin. So here it is a request. Okay, please come to my cabin. This is in the active voice. Now when you're changing this into the passive voice, it becomes as you are requested to come to my cabin. Okay, so, to the ground or whatever you are writing. Here it is my cabin. Here you have to write it as you are requested to come to my cabin. If it is please assemble in the ground, you have to write it as you are requested to assemble in the ground. Okay, right. Next, for if it is for advice, you have to use it as you are advised to. Okay, here the person says use your time wisely. When somebody advises you to use your time wisely, when you are writing it in the passive form, you have to write it as you are advised to use your time wisely. The same way, order and command, everything you can write as it is given as the sentences. Okay, if it is an order, you have to write you are ordered to go home early. Okay, you are ordered not to come out of your house. You are ordered not to behave rudely. Okay, so these are for orders. Then commands also you can use. That, okay, so you are ordered, and command and order, everything is the somewhat it is the same thing. So whatever type of imperative sentence it is, according to that you have to use it. The next one is for yes or no questions. Here you have to know what is yes or no question. If you get the answer for the question, or if you give the answer, or you can give the answer for the question as yes or no, then it is called the yes or no question. So for example, you can see here, did you do the home assignment? This is the question. If that is a question, you can either say yes or you can say no, isn't it? So for this, when you are changing it into the passive form, so did you do? So it is in the past tense. Did you do the home assignment? So was the home assignment done by you? The past participle form of the verb of do is done. Okay, done by you. Same, it has to be in the question form itself. Okay, was the home assignment done by you? again, there are, you can see, are you free today? So how will you ask that question? If somebody asks, are you free today? So in the same way, that is also an yes or no question. But what is it? There is no object in there. Okay, there is no object. There is only adjunct. Only when the sentence has the subject, verb, and the object, you can change it into the passive form. Okay. Yes. Now for the WH question. Again, for the WH question, here you can see the question word, which is when. When will you finish the assignment? Okay. So when you're changing a WH question into the passive voice, the question word, the WH question always should come in the front. Okay, the question word should not change from there. So when you're changing into the passive, it becomes when will the assignment be finished by you? So when will you finish the assignment? That is the question. It is in the active voice. When you're changing it in the passive voice, it becomes as when will the assignment be finished by you? Okay, we'll just go to the, so you have a lot of exercises regarding this. There are many exercises. That is on page number, you say 14. Yes, from page number 14 onwards, we are having the exercise regarding the active and passive voice. Okay. So the explanation is there. On page number 14, you can see a lot of elaborate explanation in the book itself. Okay. So you can just go through that. There are lots of examples in the book itself. Okay. So you can refer to those examples also. When you're referring and trying to do it yourself, then only you can learn. Okay. This cannot be the grammar. Regarding grammar, you cannot by heart it. Like math, you have to work it out. Okay. Only if you work it out, you will be able to do the exercises properly. Okay. So you have exercises here. That is on page number 14. There is F. Change the following sentences to the otherwise. So first we are having a set of 10 questions in this exercise. That is in the F on page number 14. That you have to do. And then a lot of explanation about the change or the transformation of active voice to the passive voice is given on page number 15. And there again, you have different types of WH questions and SOM questions that you can refer your book so that it will be clear to you. And then on the next page, that is on page number 16, you are having again an exercise G, that is change the following into passive voice. Okay, and one more I've just given, that is writing a recipe. On the same page, exercise J, that you are having in the on page number 16. Okay, so these two exercises I have given as the activity. Okay, So you just have got enough time for recalling, that is active to passive. So active voice emphasis is on the doer or performer. Passive voice emphasis is on the result or receiver. Okay. Again, these how these are changed. Then examples, change of voice. Then when the tense changes, how the active and passive voice changes. The example for yes or no questions, how you change to yes or no questions, and the imperative sentences. All these are given. So hope and the activities. The book back exercise on page number 14, F, and page number 16, G and J. Okay. So that's all for today. And see, you don't hear the ending quote. Don't talk, just act. Don't say, just show. Don't promise, just do. Right. So hope you have understood something from this class, but you can do more reference. Okay. Because when you go, you search in the net and all, you will get a lot of references, a lot of examples. In the book itself, you're having a lot of examples. Just if you go through, you can find it, right? So wish you all a safe and healthy quarantine. Meet you till all in the next class. So the next class will be on Wednesday, right? Thank you.
Yes, Mr. Sister. Everything fine, sister. Dear
Yes,
students,
Ji.
dear students, next week onwards we may have four subject for every day. So we need the more data. Kindly avoid doing activities, data-based activities in the morning time, and also charge your phone as much as possible. Keep your phone in 100% battery. So continuously, it may be continuous session. It may start from 9:30 a.m. to 12:10. So slightly it may varies. So be ready for to attend the classes. Next session, 11 o'clock. Site 2 will be handled by the second sister. Thank you. Thank you all.
Thank you, Ji.